How the deer escaped the trap. In a quiet, green part of the jungle where birds chirped and river flowed gently, there lived a young and graceful deer named Daisy. Daisy had soft brown ears and gentle hooves and a heart full of kindness. She loved to skip through the meadows, play near the stream, and listen to the stories told by a wise old owl. But Daisy was not just gentle. She was smart and alert too. One sunny morning, Daisy went out in search of sweet grass. She waved goodbye to her friends, the rabbits, the parrots, and the squirrels, and the toto that happily lived into the forest. The sun shone brightly, and the winds whispered softly through the tears. As the daisy wandered deeper, she came across a patch of fresh green grass under a big mango tree. What a lovely spot, she said, licking her lips. But just then she stepped forward. Snap! A strong rope caught her, and she fell. Oh no, she cried. I'm trapped. It was Hunter's trap. Hidden under the grass, Daisy tried to pull the free, but the rope tightened. Her heart beat fastly, and she looked around. No one was there nearby. I must stay calm, she whispered. Panicking won't help. I have to think. Daisy remembered what Owl told her. In danger, don't fear. Pause, look, and think clear. She took a deep breath. Then she looked carefully at the rope and the knot, the way it was tied to the branch. Suddenly she had an idea. If I twist my leg gently and pull from other side, the rope might loosen. Slowly Daisy shifted her weight, wriggled her leg, and tried pulling at the new angle. It was a hard little but stayed strong. Then snap. The knot gave a wave slide. Yes, it's working, she said, full of hope. But just as she was about to try again, she heard a rustle. The bushes moved. Out stepped the hunter, holding a net and long stick. Daisy froze. The hunter grinned. What a catch! A young deer! Daisy's eyes darted down. She needed help fast, and just then a loud voice echoed from the above. Stop! It was Pico the parrot, Daisy's friend. He had been flying overhead, showed what happened. Let her go. He squawked loudly, flying around the hunter's head. The hunter waved his arm, trying to shoo the parrot away. Pico called out, help, help, Daisy in danger. Soon more animals arrived. The monkey came swinging from trees, the squirrel threw nuts from above, and even the old tortoise moved far worse than unusual. They made such loud scene the hunter grew nervous. The jungle is wild, he shouted and dropping his net. With the final tug, the daisy pulled herself free and jumped away just in time. Hunter ran off, scared by animal anger. Daisy sat down under a tree, breathing heavily. Her legs swollen, but she was safe. Pico landed next to her. Are you all right? He asked gently. Daisy nodded. Thank you to you and everyone. Monkey clapped. You were so brave. The squirrel squeaked. And smart too. The owl. You have just arrived with a smile. Today, we saw something special. A heart that stayed calm and a mind that stayed sharp and the friends that stood together. Daisy smiled. I remember your words, Owl. Pause, look, and think clear. That's what saved me. The moral of the story is, kids, in times of danger, don't panic. Stay calm, think smart, and remember, true friends will always come to help. So, kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you.
Hello kids, welcome back to my channel PR Kids. Today I have got you a very interesting story. The title of the story is The Monkey's Mistake. In a big green jungle, there lived a playful monkey named Max. Max was full of energy and always loved to jump from tree to tree, swing on branches and play tricks on his friends. He was quick and smart, but he had one problem. He never listened to advice. Max believed he knew everything. He never thought before acting, and whenever he made a mistake, he never admitted it. One day, something happened that changed Max's ways of thinking forever. In the middle of the jungle, there was a tall mango tree, and its branches were filled with sweet and juicy mangoes. However, this tree was very special as it belongs to the wise elephant Grandpa Gaju. Grandpa Gaju had always told young animals, you may take the fallen mangoes from the ground, but do not climb the tree. It's old and weak. The branches may break. All the animals respected Grandpa Gaju and followed his words. But Max, being playful and stubborn, did not like rules. Why should I listen to him? He thought. I am faster and clever. I won't fall. One afternoon, Max felt very hungry. He looked at the mango tree and saw the biggest, ripest mango hanging from a high branch. His mouth watered. That mango looked delicious. I must have it, he said to himself. Ignoring Grandpa Guju's warning, Max quickly climbed up the tree. The branches crooked under his weight, but he didn't care. He reached out and grabbed the mango. I did it, he cheered. But the moment he pulled the mango, crack, the branch snapped. Most lost his balance and fell straight to the ground. He landed with loud rush. His tail was twisted and arm burst. Hearing the noise, all the animals rushed to see what had happened. Grandpa Guju walked up to the Max and shook his head. Oh, Max, he suddenly said. Didn't I warn you? Max looked down, feeling ashamed. I thought I knew better. I didn't listen, he said softly. Grandpa Guju nodded. We all make mistakes, Max, but a wise animal learns from them. Will you remember this lesson? Max nodded quickly. Yes, Grandpa Guju, I promise to think before I act and listen to good advice. From that day on, Max became wiser monkey. He still played and had fun, but he always thought before making decisions. And whenever he saw a young animal about making mistakes, he would say, once I'd make a big mistake too. Learn from me. Always listen to good advice. The moral of the story is, kids, mistakes help us learn, but only if we can accept them and change for better. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.
The title of the story is The Clever Rabbit's Great Escape. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a big, fierce lion named King Leo. He was the king of the jungle, and all the animals were scared of him. Every day, King Leo would hunt and eat whichever animal he wanted. This made the animals very happy and frightened. One day, all the animals decided to hold a meeting. They gathered under a big old tree to discuss how they could live peacefully without fearing the lion every day. The wise old tortoise suggested, why don't we talk to the King Leo and promise to send him one animal every day? This way, he won't have to hunt and we can live without fear. The animals agreed to his plan. The next day, they went to King Leo. The clever fox spoke on behalf of everyone. Your Majesty, we would respect as your king. We are humble request. Instead of hunting us, we will send one animal to you every day as your meal. This way, you can rest, we can live peacefully. King Leo thought for a moment. He liked the idea for not having to hunt every day. All right, he wrote, but remember, if you fail in this to send an animal, I will hunt and kill as many as I want. The animals agreed and began spending one day animal daily to the lion. Days passed, all the animals lived peacefully, but deep down they were still sad as one animal from their group was sacrificed every day. One fine day, it was the turn of the clever rabbit. The rabbit was small but very smart. He didn't want to be lion's meal, so he came up with a plan to save himself for other animals. The rabbit walked slowly to lion's den, arriving very late. King Leo was furious. Why are you so late? He roared. The rabbit bowed and said politely, Oh, mighty king, I am very sorry for being late, but there is a reason. What reason? He growled. The rabbit replied, As I was coming here, another lion stopped me. He said, He is the real king of the jungle, and that you are not strong enough to rule the forest. I tried to explain that you are the true king, but he wouldn't listen. He even wanted to eat me. King Leo's eyes burned with anger. Another lion in my jungle? How dare he? Show me where he is. I will teach him a lesson. The clever rabbit nodded and said, Follow me, Majesty. I will take you to him. The rabbit led King Leo to the deep well in the forest. As they reached the well, the rabbit pointed inside and said, Your Majesty, the another lion is hiding in there. King Leo looked at the well and saw his own reflection in the water. He thought the another lion was staring him back. Enraged, he roared loudly. His roar echoed back from the well. making him think that another lion was roaring back. Furious King Leo jumped in the well and fight the majesty lion, but the well was deep and King Leo couldn't climb out. He struggled and roared, but soon he drowned. The clever rabbit smiled and ran back to the other animals. He told them what had happened and they cheered and celebrated. The lion was gone and the forest was free from fear. From that day onwards, the animal lived happily and peacefully, always remembering how the clever rabbit saved them with quick thinking. The moral of the story is, kids, wisdom and cleverness are more powerful than strength. Even the smallest and the weakest can overcome the biggest challenges with smart thinking. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.
The turtle's patience. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest with soft winds and sparkling streams, lived a kind old turtle named Toby. Toby wasn't fast like other rabbits, or loud like any monkeys, or strong like bears. He had just some special patience. He looked towards slow steps. He spoke gently and he waited his turn. And most of all, he never gave up. And no matter how small the things grow, all the animals in the forest liked Toby, but some of the younger ones would laugh behind his back. Look at Toby, how slow, giggled the squirrel. I'll bet he will take the whole day to cross the path, joked the parrot. But Toby never minded. He would smile and say, every step is a step forward, no matter how small. One bright morning, the forest was buzzing with excitement. The animals were planning a forest fun race. It was biggest event of the year. Everyone would cheer, clap, even sing songs. Who want to race? Called the monkey announcer. I do. I'm ready. Let's go. Suddenly, a small voice said, I would like to race too. It was Toby. All the animals looked at him. You, said the rabbit. You can't be serious. You're too slow, said the fox with smirk. But Toby just smiled. I may be slow, but I'll try my best. All the animals laughed at the monkey and said, if he wants to join, let him. It's race for all. So race was set. And the path ran through the forest over the streams around the tall trees and the big rock. The next morning, animals gathered to watch. Birds flew above to see the race from the sky, and the jungle drums beat. Boom, boom, boom. Ready, said the monkey. Set, go. The racer dashed off. Whoosh! The rabbit ran like the rabbit wind. The deer leaped over logs. The parrot zipped through the air. And Toby, he took one step and the another and the another. Some animal giggled. Some shook their head. He will never finish, they whispered. But Toby didn't stop. As the race went on, something surprising began to happen. The rabbit ran so fast that he didn't look even, and he just kept on going one careful steps. The rabbit ran so fast, and he was wrong. He jumped into a tree and had to rest. The parrot flew too high and got tired and had to perch on a branch to catch his breath. The fox tried to take a shortcut but got stuck in bushes. Meanwhile, Toby just kept walking slowly but surely. The animal noticed. Look, Toby is still moving. He didn't stop there. He almost there. At the finish line, the monkey raised his flag. Everyone gathered to see. Toby looked one step at a time. They crossed the line. Hooray! The forest bird into cheer. The birds sang the drum rolls. You did it, Toby, cried the elephant. You never gave up, said the owl. And you are the true winner, added the deer. Toby smiled. I may not the fastest, but I kept on going. From that day on, the animals didn't laugh at Toby anymore. In fact, they started calling him Toby the Wise. He became the forest storyteller and teaching young ones about patience, kindness, and never giving up. And whatever the little animal felt slow or left out, they would remember the turtle who walked with heart and born with grace. The moral of the story is, kids, patience, perseverance, and steady heart can take you farther than speed has done. So, kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. The turtle who stopped the river in a peaceful forest filled with singing birds, buzzing bees, and tall green trees. There lived a quite wise turtle named Togo. Togo was old, with a smooth brown shell and gentle eyes. He didn't speak much, didn't run around like monkeys, and didn't sing like the birds. But whenever he spoke, the whole jungle listened. He lived by the edge of the river, near the bend, where the water was calm and cool. Every morning, Togo would slowly walk to the riverbank, take a deep breath, and smile. This river feels life, he would say, to the trees, animals, and me. All the animals respected Togo, and the elephants asked for his advice. The frog told him jokes. Even the grumpy crocodile would nod politely when Togo passed by. But one day, something strange happened. The river was always flowed fast and clear, began to slow down. The birds first noticed the water is not moving as it should, said the kingfisher. Then the first fish began to panic. The current is weak. We will get stuck. Soon, water turned muddy. Frogs croaked loudly. Trees, green each, became droop. Togo slowly made his way to the center of the forest, where the animals gathered in worry. The river is changing, said the deer. Something is wrong. It should be blocked, said the owl. Maybe a tree has fallen upstream. Togo looked up. Then shall I go and see? The animal gasped. You? But Togo, you are old and slow, said the parrot. The jungle is far in danger, added the fox. Togo smiled gently. Sometimes even the slow steps can save the day. And with that, he began his journey, one step at a time. He walked through the thick jungle, over the roots and rocks, although through the grass and thorny bushes. Horns passed. The sun rose high and then began to fall, but Togo kept walking. Finally, he reached a part of the river no animal visited ever, and what he saw made him heart shrink. A giant tree had fallen across the river, blocking it completely. Behind it, the water has piled up. In front, it was barely moving. Animals were trapped both the sides. Oh dear, Togo whispered. This is bad. Suddenly he heard a cry. Help, help! It was a family of otters stuck between the rocks and rising water. I will help you, Togo called, slowly climbing down. With a great effort, he lifted his heavy shell and pushed a rock aside. Go now, he said. The otter swam out safe, but the water was rising fast now. The tree was heavy, too heavy for one turtle. Togo looked down, around. I must stop more water from building up. He had an idea. He crawled into a small space near the tree trunk and wedged his body tightly, using a strong shell as a barrier. The water hit him, fast and rough cold, but he held on. Hours passed. The parrots were getting very scary. In the jungle, the animals were searching for Togo. Everyone was asking, where is Togo? We must find him. A group of brave animals followed his path. The animals, the elephants, the monkey, the deer, the fox, and even the grumpy crocodile rushed towards the blocked river. When they arrived, they saw something incredible. Togo was holding the water and his shell, trying to shake but brave. He is saving us. We must help. With a loud roar, the animal pushed together. The elephants used their trunk, the crocodile bit into the log, and the monkeys tugged vines. Crack. The tree moved. Crash. The water burst forward clean and fresh. The river flowed again. Togo was washed gently to the bank. Togo, are you okay? He opened his eyes and smiled. I'm a bit wet, Forest jeered. The night, under the stars, the animal lit lanterns and sang songs. Togo wrapped in leaves and resting in the river, listening slightly. And you didn't just stop the river, Togo, said the wise soul. You stopped fear and gave us hope. And from that day on, the river bend where Togo lived was called Turtle's Turn, a place where every animal remembered that even the slowest and the quickest among us can be the strongest and bravest. So kids, that's it for today's video. Wait a second, the moral of the story is true courage is not about speed or strength, but the heart to help when others are in need. Even the small step can make the big difference. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. When the forest went silent, a tale of true friendship in the middle of the bright green happy forest, where birds chirped and river giggled and the tree danced in breeze. There was always a song in the air. Every morning the forest would come alive with sounds, monkey chattering, bees buzzing, frog croaking, and the birds singing sweet melodies. But in this cheerful forest, the loudest and the happiest voice belonged to the little rabbit named Rumi. Rumi had long ears and a pink nose and a voice that floored everyone. Good morning, Mr. Owl. Hello, Daisy dear. Nice jump, Kiki the kangaroo. He greeted everyone. He made others laugh with silly songs and always had the time to help friend. But Rumi's very best friend in the whole forest was Timo the turtle. Timo didn't say much. He moved slowly, always calm and quiet. He liked sitting under the mushroom, reading self books, and listening to the river. Rumi and Tino were different, but their hearts were same. They played every day. Rumi would race around while Tino slowly made his way to the catch up. They picked berries, played hide and seek, and sometimes just sat under a tree doing nothing but being together. One day, while the forest was full of sounds and smiles, a strong wind blew through. Bush. Leaves flew, branches bent, tree swayed widely, thundered, rumbled far away. All the animals ran to the fine shelter. After the storm passed, the forest looked different, wet, muddy, and quiet. But something feel worse had happened. Rumi was gone. The animals searched everywhere. Behind the trees, under the rocks, near the pond, no sign of little rabbit. Maybe he ran too far for the side of the forest, he said the parrot. Or maybe he struck in the marble bush. Then one evening, Tino did something no one expected. He stood up, packed some berries, tied a leaf stack on his shell, and said, I'm going to find Rumi. But you are too slow, Tino said. It was dangerous. Outside the forest, warned the owl. Tino didn't stop. He would to do the same for me, and so the turtle began a long journey for all of us. He crossed streams, he climbed hills, he walked through the thorny bushes, he slept under the stars and woke up with a hope. One day, near a small village on the forest edge, Tina heard something, a soft voice humming. Berries are red, berries are blue. I miss my forest and friends so true. Tino's eye widened. Rumi. He followed the voice and found a small garden with hidden human house, and there under the basket was a small rabbit, Rumi. Rumi, Tino cried. Rumi looked up, eyes widened. Tino, it's really you? They hugged tightly. How did you find me? I followed the silence, said Tino. The forest, miss your voice, Rumi explained. The storm swept me far. A kind girl found me and kept me safe. But I miss my home every day. The next morning, Tino waited near the garden, while Rumi trapped into a gentle window. The little girl, Myra, smiled and opened the basket. Want to go home, don't you? Rumi nodded. Myra picked up him gently and carried the forest edge. Goodbye, little rabbit, be happy. Just then, Rumi freed. The journey was long. They reached the forest and all the animals gathered in shock and joy. Rumi is back. And then that day onwards, no matter what happened, Rumi never stopped singing. But he always made sure to sit quietly with Tino sometime under the same old tree, smiling, saying nothing, just holding the silence gratefully because he understood that even a quiet friendship can speak the loudest. So kids, today's moral of the story is true friendship isn't about noise or fun, it's about being there, especially in silence. Real friends never stop looking for each other. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.